Welcome back to the Fade. And guys, I promise you, I was not intentionally trying to make this episode solely on the NFC East, but I couldn't help myself with all of the injuries and new starters happening. So let's dive into it. Chargers at the Giants. Jaxon Dart getting his first start. How will he handle it? We'll talk about it. Eagles at the Bucs. Mike Evans is out. Will they remain undefeated? Cowboys, Packers, the biggest storyline of the offseason. Micah coming back to Dallas. But now Dallas is losing and missing two of their best players, one to a trade and one to injury. And then, of course, we got some bets to tag along to these games. Jaxon Dart, Jaxon Dart, Jaxon Dart. That's exactly what we heard on national TV multiple times from the Giants fan base, and their wish is coming true. Jaxon Dart is taking over the reins in New York for the Giants, and it starts this week against the Chargers. By the way, a very stingy, good Chargers team, and we're all wondering, is the time right? Well, I'm not sure if the time is ever right, considering the schedule that the Giants have coming up. They got the Chargers this week, the Saints next week, the Eagles after that, the Broncos, the Eagles again, and then the 49ers. Well, we're going to see what Jaxon Dart is made of, what this uh, Giants team is made of, and it's going to be tough. Brian Daboll and Jaxon Dart got their hands full this week against a Chargers team that is hungry, playing elite football on offense and defense. And look, Jaxon Dart's gonna be playing against a guy that he's probably a fan of with Justin Herbert. Jaxon Dart, stay in your lane, play your game, make good decisions. Don't try to chase Justin Herbert and his greatness because it's just too soon right now. So with you can tell that I'm taking Chargers money line and Chargers covering, which I think a lot of the public is as well. But a few things I'm looking at. I want to see how Jaxon Dart handles this offense. I expect there to be a lot of RPOs, a lot of quick hits. They're going to try to run the ball with Cam Scatterbo, which, by the way, I love how he runs the football. He's aggressive, he's hard hitting, and he just does not care. You can argue that he is the hardest hitting running back in the league. Is certainly one of the hardest rookies. And the question I have for you guys is, who's bringing the heat more, Genty or Scatterbo? Whew, them boys are hitting. But anyway, back to this game. I believe the Chargers are going to not let you throw for 430 yards like the Giants did when they almost beat the Cowboys. They are going to take that deep ball away, and they're going to make the Giants have 8-9 play drives to score. They're not going to let Malik go over the top. They're not going to let Wan'Dale Robinson catch a deep cross over and over again. And they're not going to let my boy Darius Slayton take him deep either. You're going to have to hit him with screens, go get your 4 yards of carry, run some in routes and some over routes, and you're going to have to go first down by first down by first down. And we're going to see if Jaxon Dart is able to lead this team continuously over and over and over again. We know that this guy has a ton of talent. We saw him light it up in the SEC and throw for over 11,000 yards or something. But this NFL ball is a whole different ball game. But hey, the athleticism's there. He's going to bring a new spark, and it reminds me of when we had Eli the same year that we drafted Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones took over the offense a couple games into the season. And yes, we were a bad team, but he brought a spark. He was spraying the ball all over the place. He was able to hit guys down the field deep, and really just kind of brought a spark. And he wasn't scared to get hit. And also, obviously, Daniel Jones had athleticism to utilize his legs, which extended plays. And I see Jaxon Dart doing the same thing. So this game is going to be all eyes on the New York Football Giants, not because they're so dang good, just to see what Jaxon Dart is going to do. But personally, I believe the Chargers go in and handle business. I think they cover, and so that's one of the bets I'm taking. And then my other bet that I'm going to take is going to be Jaxon Dart under 188 and a half yards. Look, rookie quarterbacks have their hands full. Rookie quarterbacks against a team like the Chargers is even tougher. Harbaugh is going to try to make him very uncomfortable with the blitzing, and it's going to force him to you utilize his legs. And I looked, and you know what? I looked at his over and under on rushing yards, Jaxon Darts, and it's at 35 and a half. I just don't like that number. That's a lot of yards, and I believe that they're going to try to keep Jaxon Dart in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get outside, which he's an athlete. He is an athlete, so he will probably be able to get out there a few times, especially without Khalil Mack on the field hunting you down, which also will give me a confidence booster. But look, this is going to be a game of a lot of mistakes on Jaxon Dart, just managing the game, learning how to be a pro. But I am excited to see him play, 4 quarters of football and not be popped into the offense, a play here, a play there. We're going to see him get a rhythm. We're going to see how he can handle and manage the entire offense. We're going to see how he can direct Malik and Darius Slayton and Wanda Robinson and Scatterbo out there. And it should be a really good test for him. And so I'm not expecting perfection, but I am expecting to see Jaxon Dart make some really good plays and to put them in a position to compete. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia to see arguably the best team in the league, the Philadelphia Eagles. And after last week, they put the league on notice again that they can win all types of ways. Philadelphia Eagles showed up the first half and were completely asleep, turned it on the second half and went on a 26-7 run to beat the Los Angeles Rams in a unreal fashion. Jordan Davis, 336 pounds, blocks the kick, scoops it, and scores it, and absolutely cooks the spread in that game. But I'm moving on to this game. It's a new week, right? Anyway, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming to town, and they are banged up. They are going to be missing for the next few weeks, Mike Evans, Mr. 1K himself, and also Chris Godwin. We'll find out later this week if he's going to be going this weekend. But this is going to be an intense matchup, and we're all wondering, hey, did Tampa Bay be undefeated after this game as well? I don't think so, because Mike Evans is a huge part of that. And last time in 2024, Mike Evans pulled his hammy and missed 3 games. They went 0-3. And to top that off, they got to go see the Hawks next week, then the 49ers, and then the Lions on primetime TV. Those are 2 very challenging games coming up if they can get through the Eagles. But one big question we have, Emeka Egbuka. Is he ready to be the bona fide number 1 receiver? We've seen flashes of him making some terrific plays, and we want to see him get more targets and more share of the ball. And a big question is going to be, are the Eagles going to allow that to happen? I think Emeka Egbuka will light up the scoreboard or light up the stat sheet if they find a way to move him all over the field, have him on the backside, and then on the front side, motioning to create matchups, get him into a bunch, motion him outside. You have to create scenarios to get this young man the ball, and I do believe he is ready to be the big number 1 receiver in Tampa moving forward, especially while Mike Evans is out and as Chris Godwin gets his feet back under him. Now, another one I'm going to be taking a close look at as far as plays is Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard and Baker Mayfield go way back, as we know. Those are 2 buddies, 2 homies that have a stellar relationship outside of the locker room. And so I see Sterling Shepard getting an uptick on playing time, opportunities, target share, which is going to be big. And, of course, Bucky Irvin, they're going to want to run the ball much more, try to control the game, try to slow the game down. But this game is going to be a pretty intense game at Lincoln Financial Field, and we're going to be watching. Can Baker pull it off yet again? Another highly anticipated game going into the season is the Packers going back to Dallas. Micah going back to where it all started. And Jerry Jones made it very clear we will not be honoring him, having a moment of silence, or doing any of that shenanigans. We're there to play ball. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are going to have their hands full because they are missing not only Micah from the trade, but CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in the league, will be out for several weeks with a ankle sprain. And so where do you go? Well, this is what's going to happen. George Pickens Overs on catches, overs on yards. They have to feed him. I would take him in at any time. Touchdown. Jake Ferguson through 3 games is averaging 9 receptions. You can get his over in receptions at 6.5. To me, that is a no-brainer. Now, the one that really sticks out to me is going to be Turpin. Kevontae Turpin. His over in receiving yards is at 19.5. And then also I would take his over in receiving yards and rushing yards, which is somewhere around 37 to 39 yards, because they're going to have to create ways to move the ball. The Packers front 7 are stingy. Their DBs are really good. And so they're going to have to do motions to Turpin and jet sweeps and fake jet sweeps to create outlet for Dak to throw to. And so I see him getting an uptick as well in targets and his shares and opportunities. But this is going to be, I don't know how to say it the kindest way, pretty much this could turn into a bloodbath. Packers are going to be real pissed off after losing that game last week to the Cleveland Browns 13-10 on the last minute field goal. And so they're going to come back into Dallas pissed off, and you can bet your tail that Micah is letting them in on all the secrets over in Dallas. So I see Packers handling business, covering, but also winning the game. So feel free to throw that in a parlay. Feel free to even look at a teaser, a 6-point, 7-point teaser, and pair them with your other favorite. But hey, thanks for coming to hang out. The Fade with Golden Tate. Can't wait to see y'all next week.